This is Angelica Marie, and you're tuned into Ain't No Filter. Yes, I said ain't no filter. This podcast ain't for the lighthearted. Ain't no sugarcoating. Ain't no tiptoeing. Ain't no dog filter, and ain't no flower filter. Ain't no filter. Straight shoot from the hip on every single episode of Ain't No Filter.
What's up, guys? We are back with another episode of Ain't No Filter. It's your girl, Angelica Marie, and I'm checking in with my bro, my dog. Been down since we've been around. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Brandon Bally. I'm a multimedia professional, a recording artist, actor, model, writer, videographer, and photographer.
Okay, like you out here doing it all, multi-hyphenate, creative. I see you. Well, you know, what we about to get into today is relationships. And I've been saying, I found it funny that as a man, you wanted to talk about relationships. I guess that's like a bias that I got, that I was just kind of like shocked that you want to talk about relationships.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely understand that. But once again, as I was saying before, I definitely feel like it's an important topic to us too. You know what I mean? And not only is it an important topic, it's also something that you can have an in-depth conversation regarding as well. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I also said music too. I said a couple other things. I said music, but I think that might have been like a broad conversation. You know, so this is the one we decided upon. You know?
I mean, okay, he's talking about something else that we was talking about, but yes, music. That's another story. But anyway, since we're talking about relationships, I think it's best that we go ahead and let the folk know relationship statuses so they know where we're coming from.
Cuff 3-4 years.
You said cuff 3-4 years.
Yeah,
okay, how many years is it? Is it 3 or is it 4?
It's about to be 4. Yeah, it's going on 4. It'll be 4 in October. Yeah.
That's so precious. That is so precious. So for you, well, I guess I'm supposed to say what I am. I'm single.
Right.
Like a dollar bill. What they say? Single like a Pringle.
Yeah, like a Pringle, yeah.
Single like if my phone ring, it's gonna be my mama or my brother.
Right. It'd be like that though. You know.
The DMs is dry. I'm single.
Yeah.
Now for you, you're talking about like you've been in a relationship for 3 or 4 years. How did y'all meet? Is that like, was y'all like a social media? Like, how did y'all come together?
Yeah, it was actually the leadership conference. We were attending the Pittsburgh conference on higher education. I said Pittsburgh. I was going to say Pennsylvania. I'm sorry. And it's basically like a statewide like college and university getaway that they have, where they have like a scholarship program. They have all these workshops. They have all these guest speakers. And this was back in like October of 2015. This was my first year attending that. I'm still at school. I was going to Penn State and Kensington at the time. I think I was in my sophomore year. I would have been in my second year. My first year, of course, was at Morehouse. So I came home. I basically transferred over to that school. So we're at this leadership conference. She attended Lock Haven University. We were in the same workshop together. And we basically were able to strike up a conversation during the workshop. And there was probably like 20, 25 other students in this workshop. And the workshop was on how to deal with, I can't remember the exact topic, but basically it was like just dealing with like white students at PWI and like hearing racial comments and like how you can kind of make yourself more comfortable if you're a part of an organization, like how you can stay true to yourself with the organization, even though you're at a PWI, just things like that. So I ended up being selected as basically the person who was supposed to advocate for the entire group in front of the entire conference. It was like 300, 400 people at this conference. So I'm basically speaking on what my workshop discussed for like the 10, 15 minutes that we were in that workshop to the entire conference. So I go up, I had taken notes, like while we was in the workshop, I took notes on what everybody was saying, the things that they, discussed, the things that they were practicing to feel comfortable at their PWIs. At the time, my girl, we weren't, together at the time. Obviously, this is the first time we met. She was in the theater program. And so she talked about how she would just tell people straight up, like, if you don't know something, she had that understanding that not all white people or all people who are not Black have actually been exposed or been around Black people. There's some people who actually grow up in areas where it's predominantly one race, and they might not interact with Black people. They might not have Black friends. You know what I mean? And so her response to, the overall topic is, she was like, I just educate people. She was like, if somebody doesn't know anything about me culturally or racially, to a certain extent, I'm willing to educate them, to just let them know, like, this is who we are as individuals, you know what I mean? And then also to let them know these are the things you can say and these are the things that you cannot say. And I thought that was so thorough, whenever we first met, because I, came from a single parent household. My mom went to a HBCU. My freshman year, I went to a HBCU. And although I did go to a predominantly white high school, my whole mentality being brought up was kind of like, if somebody says anything disrespectful to you about your race, you got to go at them. You know what I mean? There's no conversation. There's no explanation. You disrespected me. You said something racist. All right, cool. Now we got to go hard. So I thought that her perspective was different, but I valued that. And whenever I heard her say that, I was like, damn, like, that's really dope.
Like, she's smart.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool. It really caught my attention. And so, like I said, I get up on stage, I present like the entire, basically everything that we had discussed in the workshop to the entire conference. I'm nervous as shit. I'm on stage, like there's 400 people here. Like, this is the first time I'd ever like gotten up on a stage by myself to talk to that many people. You know what I mean? So I'm like talking, I'm, basically just reiterating everything we had discussed in the workshop. Everybody's in the crowd, like talking, you can hear like side conversations with the motherfuckers in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? You can hear the side conversation. You can see the way they're looking at you, stuff like that. I was kind of like, well, damn, like, I wonder what everybody is, what they jawing about. And whenever I got off the stage, she approached me and she was like, wow, like, you were able to really, deliver on all the points that we had discussed within the workshop. So we chopped it up for a minute. I asked her for a number. And after that, we just started talking and it was on from there.
But that's dope. I was put in a position that, like, you were actually able to see a person's intelligence. Like, I've been to conferences too, like while in college, but clearly I ain't cut for 3-4 years. But with that, like, did you know it was like the physical attraction too, or it was really like, okay, the intelligence is there, and then I'm like, okay, like you kind of cute too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was definitely the physical attraction, that was for sure. But then also too, to know that, like, the thought process. I definitely think it helps to know somebody's thought process, because you can kind of decipher whether or not, that person is somebody that you can see yourself continuing to talk to, continuing to be around. And I definitely loved her thought process. So I think it was both. Really for me, it was both. I thought she was attractive as shit. And then also, too, I loved her thought process. And I was like, this is somebody I could probably not only learn from, but we could have like level-headed conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, this person is different. This person is interesting. You know what I'm saying? Worthwhile. And so, like I said, from there, we had each other's phone numbers. We talked like a little bit throughout the remainder of the conference. It was a 3-day conference. It was over the weekend. We talked a little bit for the remainder of the conference, and then we really started to talk heavier later, actually. Like, after we left the conference, I came back home. She's from Philly. And she, going back to actually Lock Haven, she went back to Lock Haven, went back to our respective campuses, and our campuses were not close at all. So we hadn't communicated for a while, like up until she graduated, and I had her on Snapchat. And I DM'd her on Snapchat whenever she posted like her graduation photos, like, yo, like, congratulations, da da da, woo woo. And, she basically was like, thank you, whatever. And then we still didn't talk for a minute after that. And then she hit me up out of the blue, probably like, we didn't talk for a cool minute, just to give that thorough explanation. She hit me up out of the blue a little bit after she graduated. And she was like, hey, like, what's going on? Which I haven't talked to in a minute. And we started talking again heavy. It went from texting to we're on the phone to, like, she's living in Philadelphia too. I'm going to go visit her in Philadelphia. She's coming to visit me in Pittsburgh. And then eventually she moved to Pittsburgh. We lived together for a minute. And then I just moved to Philadelphia. And we live together in Philadelphia now. So we
y'all live together?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
oh, so how do you, okay, y'all cute. So how do you feel about like living with your significant other? Because the whole big talk is like, I don't know if y'all goal is to ever get married or what the case is, but everybody's talk is like, you need to live with your significant other before you get married, if like marriage is your goal. But then some people are saying like, if you want to potentially get married, you shouldn't live with your significant other. Like, what's your thoughts? Like, is marriage what y'all trying to do?
Yeah, of course. I definitely want to get married. I think ultimately to answer your question, though, it's important for you to live with somebody for you to really and truly get a feel for. You don't really know somebody until you live with them. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's habits are different. So if you want to be in a long-term relationship with somebody, especially if you're thinking about marriage, I think at some point you do have to live with them because you'll see their living habits. You'll see how they take care of their bills. You know what I'm saying? How financially responsible they are. You'll learn a lot about somebody by actually living with them. I don't think you can really actually know somebody. You can know somebody, living in two different spaces, but whenever you live in the same space together, you also have to learn how to cope with one another. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it just puts you in a different headspace whenever you're in a relationship and you live with your significant other, as opposed to you all living in, because we did that before too. I had my own apartment. She had her own apartment at one point too. So we definitely have done that. But for me, I think, in my opinion, you do have to live with your significant other for at least a little bit, because you just don't know. You don't really know who you're in a relationship with until then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to see each other in every single day. You guys have to be in the same space. That's just my perspective, my opinion.
No, I mean, I definitely agree. I feel like this, like, I get why people be like, you shouldn't live with a significant other until you're married.
Yeah.
I get it, because people have this idea that people are going to get too comfortable and you'll never get the goal of marriage.
Facts.
But I think
Right.
that's where, like, the communication go in, because if y'all actually want to get, because some people real life don't want to get married. Like, that's what they want to do. If it works for them and their person, then let it be. But I get what people saying. Sometimes people get way too comfortable and they get in this situation and then they don't go to that goal because they get everything and all of that. But I will say, like, I know how I am as a person. We're gonna probably have to live together, because, like, I might not like you because I already know how I am. I'm an Aquarius. I like my space. I can literally, first thing in the morning, please do not speak to me.
Right.
Do not wake me out my sleep.
Right.
If ain't nothing burning, don't wake me up. Like, I promise you, do not wake me up, because I'm gonna be when I first thing in the morning, please do not speak to me. Give me an hour. Give me an hour. I promise you, I still love you, but give me an hour. Sorry, right there. Also, I like being by myself. Like, I'm social, but when I want to be by myself, let me be by myself. You don't have to understand that. You can't be in my face. I'm ready to be by myself right now, sir. Like, love you, but I think that living with a person also, it doesn't allow you to do the, oh, I'm mad at you, so I'm not gonna talk to you for a couple of days. No, you gonna talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna talk to me. So I definitely agree that I think, like, living with each other should happen. I just think that it's gonna make for, like, a better situation. Of course, certain things are different, like, for everybody, just because how people move and how their relationship is set up. Do you think it's, like, ever too soon to move in with a person though?
Yeah. I think there's definitely a point where it's too soon. I think if you just met somebody, like, and I know some people who've done this before and it has not worked for them. You know what I'm saying? I've seen some people move into or move in with the person that they're dating. They've only been dating for like 6 months. Like, that's too soon. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know somebody in 6 months. Like, it takes years. To me, in my opinion, it takes years for you to really know who somebody is. And it's like, within 6 months, I feel like that's still low key, like, the cupcake phase. You know what I'm saying? Like, that first 6 months, everything's all lovey-dovey, everything's all smiles, giggles, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, after the first 6 months, first 6 to 8 months, that shit cut out. You know what I mean? I feel like, anyway. So, yeah, I think that's just too fast. I think you just got to know when you're ready. I mean, and that's another thing too. Everybody's opinions, everybody's perspective is different. But I feel like ultimately, whenever you're ready, you'll know you're ready. You know what I'm saying? You'll get to a point where you'll be like, damn, like, I have my own apartment, you have your own apartment, but I'm always over here, or you're always over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're here 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. I think that'll eventually, you'll just feel whenever you're comfortable sharing your space with somebody else. Because I'm a Cancer, so, like, I love my personal space. I love my alone time. You know what I mean? And that definitely is something that you have to adjust to if you're ready and willing to adjust that.
What's her zodiac sign?
Aries.
Oh,
Aries.
Aries are usually real cool. I like Aries.
Yep. Aries. Yep. Definitely. You just have to balance it out. You got to balance it out.
I think that with it, you know how you said like, oh, 6 months is too soon. I feel like this. If you want to, first of all, you always learn the person because we're always evolving. But I will say, like, when it comes down to a relationship, like my mama always told me, like, you got to see how people, act in different circumstances. When the individual get mad, how do they respond when they're mad? How do they respond when they're sad? How are they when they're happy? Like,
Right.
you got to see them with all these different emotions because the way people respond when they're feeling those different emotions are going to let you know what you're going to be able to deal with. And can you deal with, okay, when this person is mad, they don't talk to you, they run out the house, they they slam doors. Like, you got to see, like, oh, bro, nah, I'm good on that, because that's how you react to situations.
Yeah.
So
that's a fact.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I ain't trying to be like, if I dated you for multiple years, I'm not trying to be living like separately for too long. But
right.
I don't know.
It's about finding the balance, but also to know that whenever you do move in with your significant other, it might not always be like the smoothest transition, because now you're getting used to seeing somebody every day, or now you're getting used to sharing your space with somebody else where you may not have been used to doing that. You know what I'm saying? Or now you're forced to communicate in ways that you wouldn't have been forced to communicate in before. Because once again, like you said, like, you're definitely going to learn quickly how people communicate whenever you live together, because and also too, you're going to learn how people communicate under stress or under different circumstances. Because we can have an argument, but like, we live together, so now we got to talk about it. It's not about to be walking around the crib like, ignoring you, or you're giving me little like mean faces, whatever the fuck the case may be. Like, no, we got to work this shit out for real though. Now we have to work it out. And I think that was something that I had to accept, because being who I was as an individual, at one point I was kind of like, all right, cool, I don't got to put up with this, I'm out. You know what I mean? And I'm being completely honest, I definitely was that person where I was like, all right, yeah, I don't feel like arguing with you today. You know what I'm saying? Like, arguing, what you want to argue about this right now? Like, and of course you do have to learn how to communicate without arguing, or communicate without saying things that are hurtful, or even communicate like to minimize situations sometimes. So sometimes you living with somebody, you might argue about some stupid shit. You know what I mean? Just because you all are around each other 24/7. But once again, I think that that's just a part of relationships and living with your partner. But you definitely have to learn how to communicate. You definitely have to learn how to resolve your problems through communication. We got to a point where, we've had disputes before, we've had arguments before, but we were always able to sit down after the argument and say, hey, look, babe, like, this is how I feel. This is how you feel. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And just talked it out. And I think that that's been something that has been fundamental to not only my growth as an individual, but also within our relationship, just being able to talk through shit. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people, they get into an argument and they don't talk about it. They get into an argument, somebody says or does something hurtful, and it's just like, fuck you, I'm about to go out and do some wild shit. Instead of sitting down and talking about it, they're like, I'm gonna just go out and do some fuck shit. And I think that that's a part of the reason why people have fucked up relationships, because they don't communicate. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. They don't talk about their feelings. They don't talk about how, they don't talk about their growth. They don't talk about what works and what doesn't work. Like, those are things that you have to talk about in a relationship in order to sustain the relationship,
Okay, so in regards to that, how do you know how vulnerable you're supposed to be with the person, especially when you're first starting off? Because I feel like that's something that I'd be like, all right, I don't really know if I need to tell you all of this right now. Right. Everything. So how you, like, what if you got mad issues? I gotta tell you all of that? Like, we just talking?
Yes. Yep. Hell yeah. Why? You want to know why? Because I would rather somebody tell me in the first 6 months of us dating everything that I want to hear everything.
I said talking, you said dating.
Yeah. I mean, so when you're talking to somebody, aren't you essentially courting them? Like, if I'm talking to you every single day, or we're talking every single week, am I not learning about who you are as an individual? And aren't you learning about me as an individual?
Yeah,
sure.
but talking and dating is two different things. Like in this generation, talking and
This
dating.
generation talking and dating are two. And I get that. So go ahead, my fault.
Okay, so like talking, we're communicating. You know, we're gonna see if it's too many phases. Talking is like we're communicating, we're figuring out what we're doing. Then dating means we going in public,
Right.
You know, and everything.
I mean, but I feel like you could be talking to somebody and be out in public, and me and this person are just talking. But hey, we're in this cafe together getting coffee, or we're at the movies together. We're just talking. They say my significant other, but I think
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
But so this is what's confusing to me about this generation. Like, and now that I'm older and I have a different perspective, like what the fuck is talking for real? Like I talk to my coworkers, I talk to motherfuckers at work. Am I talking? You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck is talking? What is this shit?
This is why everybody be crying on the internet. Okay, so these is the these is like the stages, like for real. Like I'm old, like I want to be old school, but old school dudes don't talk to me. So there's talk. Okay, so I look at it like this: there's talking, there's dating, there's exclusively dating, and then there's in a relationship. Now, when you're dating, you can be talking, because talking to me is no commitment. But talking could be like y'all not really going out in public, y'all not really hanging out, like, but y'all having conversations. Y'all might go over each other's house. Y'all might start doing stuff.
At that point, you fucking dating. But let's be realistic. Let's be honest. There's no filter, right? You know what I'm saying? At this point, I'm coming over to your crib. We're spending time together. We're smashing, whatever the case may be. We're not just fucking talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, people use that as an excuse to be able to, like, justify the little weird shit that they do on the side. Like, yeah, we're fucking raw. We're doing, we get drunk you know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck, like, we do all this relationship level shit, but I don't want to claim you, so I'm gonna just say we're talking. Like, that's what that shit really is.
I'm just keep it real. You having sex without certain stuff.
We're not talking no more. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But motherfuckers is doing that, and they be like, "Yeah, we just talking." That's toxic as shit. To be like, yeah, like, I fuck with this.
You think that's toxic?
I mean, because it's like, what the fuck? Like, at some point, me and you are kicking it all the time. We're talking. We talk on the phone. I text you. Unless it's been communicated that we're just like, this is what it is. Unless we've communicated like strictly what it is. Like, sometimes I just want to come over your crib, eat and fuck. But you know what I'm saying? Unless that's been communicated, unless it's nothing more than that, then I do feel like eventually your emotions are going to get caught up. And I think even if that's what's been communicated, you still have some type of emotional or physical connection to that person. So how can you just say we're just talking? I want to know who invented like that word or like that phrase, that like, where did that shit come from? Talking. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's interesting.
Honestly, I felt like the idea of talking really popped up in like college, for real. Like, I don't know. I feel like when we was younger, people wasn't like talking. They was like in 5th grade, boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, it wasn't no talking. And then you was like talking. You was in 5th grade, boyfriend and girlfriend, breaking up because you did not know each other, for real.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, it was no talking. It was like, yo, that's my girl, period. You know?
So I feel like the whole talking stuff came from college. And then I feel like, don't get me wrong, I think that we all in different tax brackets. Ain't nothing wrong with, still hustling and grinding. But I do think it's a trash ass excuse when dudes be like, oh, I don't really want to go nowhere because I don't got no money, and y'all just getting to know each other. I feel like if you don't got no money then we both need to figure out, how to get you some money.
Facts. Number one.
But I just think that it's so many other ways to spend time with a person or get to know a person.
Exactly.
Spending money. And
Without
it
spending
doesn't
money.
they have to involve me coming over to your house, especially if I don't know you. That is my issue.
Yeah.
A lot of guys will try to invite you over, and that makes me like, I don't know, I'm different. Like I'm different. Like for me, if you invite me into your space, your home, and I feel like you don't know me like that, I think you crazy. I can set you up. Like I'm not on that, but I can easily like set you up because in my mind I'm like, bro, you don't know me like that. I can like go ahead and get you but I just think that you shouldn't allow everybody into your home. So I look at them weird when they be like, oh, come over to the crib, bro. I don't know you like that. I mean, I'm a great person, but you gonna let everybody into your space, like where you lay your head, that's weird to me. You shouldn't, everybody don't need to be in your house.
Facts. I agree. And to add to what you were saying before, like I used to be like, hey, let's go to the park. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that you can do, especially if you live in the city. There's all types of things that you can do like outdoors, you know what I'm saying? Like that you don't have to spend money on. Or like you can still go somewhere that is like a date. You can go to this restaurant, this affordable restaurant. Or if you want to really get to know somebody and you still want to, set like a good first impression, wait until you get your money up. Swear, I was the type of, if I ain't had the money, I'd be like, all right, cool. Like, I'm going to just focus on me until I get my bread right so that whenever we do pop out, I can come scoop you. You know what I mean? We can go to the restaurant that you want to go to. Sometimes you just you don't have to force the issue. And I do think that some niggas just, obviously, if you just want some ass, of course you're going to be like, yeah, just come to my apartment. But if you do genuinely want to get to know somebody, like, as a man, you'll figure out how you can do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, you'll figure out, even if you don't have the money, like, all right, I still want to be with this person, or I still want to kick it with this person. So I'm going to figure it out. And I think that that's another thing, too. When somebody really wants to be in your presence, when somebody really wants to be around you, when somebody really cares about you, when somebody really wants to get to know who you are, they have no problem doing whatever it takes in order to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I just want to fuck, like, yeah, come to my crib. And if you say no, like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to make that extra effort to be like, all right, cool, you don't feel comfortable coming to my house. So what if we meet up somewhere? What if we go to the park? Whatever the case may be, simple shit like that. So, and that is true. I think you do have to be a little bit crazy to just be like, yeah, I don't know you, but I want you to come into my park. And I think maybe that's a personality thing. Like, my personal space is my personal space. So if I invite a motherfucker over to my crib and they're like, spilling shit on the floor or knocking shit over, I'm gonna be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I just invited you into my personal space. So I do think some people are just different, like their personality types are different. Some people just be like, hey, I don't care who comes into my crib. You know what I mean? I'm very selective with the type of people that I have around me. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's like that. So.
I agree. I feel like it's a social media thing. I think that because people can see you post yourself, they see you post a sibling, a parent, share good news on there. They feel like they know you a little more than what they do. Right. And it's like, bro, you don't know what I post, what I don't post.
Yeah. You don't know me.
You know what? Itsy bitsy, teeny tiny part of my life. And it's like, that's cool and all, but bro, you don't know me. Like, yes, I happen to be a good person, but think about all the people who aren't good people. And I don't know you like that. And again, I believe that you always knowing people, but I don't want to put myself in a situation. But I do feel like the structure of all this stuff comes from college. Like, but even in college, like, I can't even front. Like, when guys would be like, oh, come to the dorm room, I used to be like, hold on, let me see, how do I know you? Like, do I know you know you? Are we cool? Like, is you my homie? Or is you kind of like low-key on something else? Is the room in the dorm that I stay in? Or do I need to go ahead and travel through a couple different areas? You know, like, you never know what people can have the best intentions. And you find out they're not the person they think they are.
Oh yeah, facts. And I think you also made another great point with that too. Like, social media, and it's all on subject. Social media will have people look like one way when they're actually the total opposite. You know what I'm saying? Social media is good at like you can kind of create whatever image you want to create on social media. Social media is just social media. It ain't real. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's really different. I'm not going to say everybody's really different, but a lot of people are really different in real life as opposed to how they look on social media. You know what I'm saying? How they act on social media. Like, so that's definitely stuff you got to be cautious of. You know what I mean? You got to be aware. That's for sure.
So how do you feel about like posting significant others on social media?
I don't feel no type of way about it. I think that's regular. If you're in a relationship, why wouldn't you want to, post your significant other on your social media? Like, I don't know, you spend time with this person. And then also too, it's like sometimes you spend more time with your significant other than you do your friends, family, whatever the case may be. So I feel like naturally they should be in your post. Or if they're not in their post, or if they're not being posted, then it's still kind of like, I don't know. I think for me, it's normal though. I think that's regular to post your partner, your girlfriend, in my case, my girl, on social media. We're around each other 24/7. So if I'm taking photos, if I'm taking videos, how are you not going to be in them? You know what I mean? Like, but some people have different perspectives. Some people feel like they don't have to post their significant other on social media, which is entirely up to them. Everybody's perspective is different.
I guess for me, like, because I mean, you know me, I'm very private, public. Like, I'm very private. I keep a lot of stuff to myself. But when I feel like,
I said me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when it's needed, I'll share it to the public. But I don't know. I just don't see myself being like, let me post my dude. Like, let me, but I think that if I was in a relationship, people would, know that I was in a relationship. But I don't think I would per se be that person who's going to be like, let me post this caption talking about how much I love this person when I'm going to just turn around and tell him that I love him. Like, the world don't need to know, but the world need to know that it's good over here.
Right.
Don't worry about what's
Facts. And I think that's another thing too. Sometimes people use social media to make shit look better in their relationships. Like all the shit that motherfuckers be saying, like in their captions, I be saying in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I do see what you're saying. It's kind of like if I'm doing it in real life, why do I need to create this image or why do I need to post it on social media? I'm doing this shit in real life, so why do I need to put it on social media? And I definitely feel the exact same way. I do feel like there are some people that be like, I'm like, you've only been in a relationship with this person for 4 or 5 months. This person is your world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just met this person. This person is your world. You know what I mean? Like, this is the person that you killed or,
Love at first sight?
Yeah, but I mean, there'd be a lot of love at first sight. I'd be like, damn, like, just calm down. Get to know the motherfucker first before you decide to broadcast everything on social media, before you look stupid. And I think some people, once again, they want to like show, hey, look what I have, look who I'm with, look what I'm doing. Like they want to do that shit instead of actually just doing it. You know what I'm saying? They want to portray like this image of them doing it instead of just actually doing it. And then 5-6 months later, they be on IG, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, bitching about how they was in a relationship with somebody who dogged them and posted pictures and videos. This motherfucker slimy, so-and-so did me like this. But hey, look, you took the initiative. You wanted to post this person on social media before you even really got to know who they are. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to hype up this relationship and make it seem like it was fantastic and all that other shit. And now you want to backpedal and like be like, this person is this or that. Like, I do think that some people just should keep their relationships off of social media. You know what I'm saying? I do think that some people just need to be private. Like you said, you're a very private person. I'm a very private person too, because you just never know who's on your social media, who wants you to lose. You know what I mean? Who's willing to throw a monkey wrench in your shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck up the vibe that you and your partner have been working towards. And then also too, sometimes just like you said, just some shit don't need to be said. Some shit just don't need to be said. I don't feel like I need to post every single detail about my relationship or every single detail about my life on social media. Why? It's social media. It's not real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really want to know what's going on with me on a daily basis, get to know me, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't gotta, I think some people are just too caught up in social media, man. Too caught up in social media.
So with that, like, okay, you was talking about like being too soon maybe to post social media. So when do you post somebody on social media? Like,
yeah, once again, I mean, everybody's discretion is different. You know, once again, being that I'm a private person, I'm also a cautious person. So like in any of my relationships and any of my friendships, whatever, I always fill people out first. I always try to get a feel for people first. And so whenever I do feel like, all right, cool, this person is trustworthy, you know, this is somebody that I can trust, this is somebody who's reliable, whatever the case may be, that's whenever I start to open up more. Until then, I'm not, you know, I'm still trying to fill you out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily know if there's a specific date, like a time limit. You know, I think sometimes people try to be like, yeah, 6 months for this, 1 year for that. Nah, whenever you feel comfortable, whenever you feel like, all right, I can, you know, post this person on social media, and I know in 5, 6 months, like we'll probably still be together. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not gonna look retarded. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Yeah. I think it depends on your discretion, who you are as an individual. You know.
I got a question. I seen this X on the call. She asked, do you feel that you need to tell a person before you date them that you are celibate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you say yeah?
The reason why I say yeah is because sex is a huge part of relationships. Sex is a huge part of partnerships. And so a lot of people will, you know, especially if I found you attractive, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, hey, look, I'm trying to cut a rug. You know what I'm saying? So it needs to be clear and it needs to be communicated for real though, real shit. You know what I mean? It just needs to be clear and up front, like, hey, like I'm celibate. All right, cool. So now I know mentally whenever I'm kicking it with you, I'm not going to grab the thigh. You know what I'm saying? We watching Netflix, I'm going to just chill. You see what I'm saying? Like, so.
Hold on. Just because you're celibate does not mean you can't, like, touch. Right? I don't know, I'm not celibate.
I mean, but there's certain, like, you can do certain things to let you know, like, all right, cool, I'm trying to push up. You know what I'm saying? So being that your partner or the girl that you're talking, in my case, the woman that I'm speaking to, the girl I'm talking to is saying, like, I'm celibate. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, now I know what not to say or what not to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to go down like that. You know what I'm saying? So
it could be celibate, but their love language can still be physical touch. They might want to, they might not want to have sex.
Man, fuck that. Fuck that. If that's what it is, don't touch me until you're ready. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel like. If you're not ready to go that way, then like just keep it chill, keep it on cool. Like, no, I'm playing. I think that's definitely.
Are you serious?
No, if I'm playing, I really am playing. You can definitely be celibate and still make out with somebody. You can be celibate and still touch somebody. It's just whenever they're ready and they feel comfortable to actually lay down. You know what I'm saying? That's when they're comfortable and they're ready to lay down. Until then, you just got to understand that that's where they're at, and you have to respect that. You know.
I mean, because there's always other forms. But then when do you tell them? Like when you're dating, you should tell them. Like,
yeah, let me know up front. I need to know off rip. You know what I'm saying? I need to know off rip. Not like the first day I met you type shit, but if we're talking, like, you know, the talking stage, we're in that talking stage, I think that's something that doesn't need to be communicated. Like you said, with men, as a man, I have to let women know that, like, if I was in a relationship, let's say hypothetically, I would have to let it be known that, like, I'm just trying to fuck. Or, like, I'm not looking for a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I have to communicate that. The reason why I have to communicate that is so that it is clear and cut what type of time I'm on. That's another thing too. People be out here, they don't know what type of time the person that they fucking with is on. They don't know what that person wants. They don't know what that person likes. They don't know what that person don't like. You know what I'm saying? And so there's no communication. And because there's no communication, it causes problems because we never talked about anything. We never communicated. So I don't know when, you asked me a question. If I'm talking to a woman, I would just want her to let me know that she's celibate. Whenever she feels comfortable, of course, but like also too very early in us speaking, so I know what type of time I need to move on, how I need to respect her, how I need to make her feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Like, how do you even introduce that? Like, hey, I'm celibate.
Act like that, the same way you just said it.
Well, like, if you don't come up on that conversation, like you grooving and y'all just getting to know each other, like, your favorite color's purple, I'm celibate. Like, what?
Fuck it. I mean, why wait? It's not like it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think once again,
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's like they say it's like a sexual journey. I don't know, rediscovery or something like that. That's what they say.
Hey, whatever they say, you know what I mean? I don't know, but yeah, I don't think that that's irregular at all. Yeah, my favorite color is blue. Okay, yeah, I'm celibate.
So then if somebody, if they were a virgin, they're supposed to introduce that too like that. Hey, your favorite color green? I'm a virgin. Like,
because at the end of the day, we only have, you know what I'm saying? Those are just like the cupcake questions. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, we all know this at this point. Like, it's not so much you don't really want to know what somebody's favorite color is, but like, you're just trying to break the ice. You know what I'm saying? Those are questions to break the ice. What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite TV show? Yeah, that shit is cool, but like, you know, it's eventually you're gonna get to some real questions, and I think that there's nothing wrong with it being like, yeah, hey, I'm a virgin. You know what I'm saying? Or hey, yeah, I'm celibate. Like, I don't think that that's awkward. At that point, now we're opening, because you communicated, we're opening up room for conversation, real, genuine conversation at that. You know what I'm saying? So just say the shit. You know, I think people think too much. You know, you're telling me about yourself. Why not tell me about yourself early before I have to learn, or I have to get, not so much I don't need to learn, but like before I have to figure it out, why not just tell me? You know what I mean? I don't think that there's any to that point in time where it's too soon to say that. Man, let that be known.
okay, then with that, what is your favorite form of non-sexual intimacy?
Talking. I mean, to me, yeah, because you can be intimate, you can be having deep conversations, and it still feel good. You know what I'm saying? It still be intriguing. It still be interesting. I'm a fiend for deep conversations. I just like having deep conversations. So even though I'm not touching you or not pleasing one another, like just having a conversation sometimes can be satisfying on that level. You know what I mean? I enjoy having conversations, in-depth, deep conversations. You know, that's just my opinion. It's one thing that I like.
Do you feel like the relationship?
Mhm.
Do you feel like the relationship with yourself
Right.
reflects the relationship that you have, like with your significant other, whether it's your present relationship or your past relationships?
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
but in what way? Because I think I love myself, but I don't think I've had like
Mm.
great interactions with men. Not like horrible or nothing.
But dig it, check that. That might be because of the relationship that they have with themselves. So, like, for example, like I have high standards for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like every single day I wake up, I'm like, all right, cool. Like I gotta get something off my list. Like I'm always working towards something. Mentally, I try to respect myself mentally. At one point, I wasn't the most self-assured person. You know what I mean? I had to grow. There were a lot of things that I had to grow. As there were a lot of things I had to work on as an individual, I should say. But that definitely reflects in your relationship, because if I have respect for myself, then I'm for damn sure I should have respect for my partner. If I love myself, I should be able to love my partner. And then also too, I know what I like and I know what I don't like. I know things that if somebody was to say certain things to me, I would be like, I ain't like the way you said that to me. You know what I'm saying? Or what's going on with you? So like, with that being said, I have an understanding of what to say and what not to say, how to say certain things and how not to say certain things. And I saw it just from having, you know, a level of self-awareness about myself. So I definitely think that it's important to know yourself so that you can have a positive relationship with your partner. Everything that you do to yourself does reflect in your relationship. That's just how I feel. You know what I mean? If you live by yourself and you don't clean your own apartment, you're for damn sure not gonna feel like helping your partner clean y'all apartment. You won't clean up your damn self. You know what I'm saying? But that's an individual relationship that you have with yourself. And now that you're with somebody else, you know, those things have to be cohesive. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's important to have a positive relationship with yourself. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel. You know.
I agree. I think I love myself. I just think that I attract. I don't know what I attract. They don't come to me. So in regards to like relationships or overall, what would be like some things that you feel like you've learned?
you got to communicate. I learned that you have to communicate. Relationships do not work without communication. You have to be honest. You have to be honest. You can't be too prideful in relationships. You can't be too prideful in relationships. You still keep it since, yeah, pride will fuck you up. You have to have pride, and you have to know your worth, and you have to know what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. But also too, you have to understand that, if you really nurture your relationship and you really care about your relationship, then there's times where you have to put your pride aside. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that those are just things that I've learned. You know what I mean? There's times in which you're going to be uncomfortable in a relationship. Why? Because you're expected to do something that you wouldn't be expected to do if you were single. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm single and I'm to myself, I don't have to communicate to anybody else like, hey, I'm safe. Like, I'm okay. Especially being a young Black man in America. Like, I got to text my girl, let her know, like, hey, babe, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out in public, but everything's cool. Or if she's out in public, I want to make sure that she's okay too. Just communication. There's a level of communication that you don't have to have when you're single, that you do have to have when you're in a relationship. You know what I mean? And so there's just layers to it.
That's so cute.
That's real.
No, but yes, but it's cute.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
My friends just track me on the app. That's how. Yeah. That's what I think you would.
Yeah, man. No, you gotta be cute. You gotta be able to communicate, because the app could say one thing, and you could really be in a sticky. You might look cool on the app, but you could be in a sticky situation in real life. You know what I'm saying? So, motherfuckers got to reach out and be like, "Hey, you good?" You know what I'm saying? That's important. That's important.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of my friends, because I don't really go nowhere for real. So when they see me, like, if I'm not with them, if they start seeing me move on the app, they usually be like, where are you going? I'll be like, oh. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's been times where I was like, hey, I'm about to show you my outfit. So just know, you know what I had on.
Right. Just in case.
Games. But I just have to say, like, people be always debating on social media about, like, OnlyFans, Demon Time. And given OnlyFans can be used for other stuff.
Other things, right? Correct.
If your significant other had an OnlyFans, or if you had an OnlyFans for sexual, like sex work or sexual related things, like how you feeling on that? Like, where's your standpoint on that?
I mean, my perspective is interesting. That's crazy. I just had, because this is a very popular conversation on social media right now. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Get the fuck out of here. I don't care how much money you making. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, and it's maybe, I'm gonna just say how I feel. Like, you're sexually showing yourself to other people. You know what I'm saying? So even though somebody said this the other day, I think it was like Dolph. Was it Dolph? Somebody posted on IG or Twitter, they was like, as long as I'm hitting it, I don't give a fuck if she has, I think it was Black Boy JB said that. He was like, as long as I'm hitting it, I don't care if she had an OnlyFans. But at that point, is that really your girl, or are you just fucking? You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody that you cultivated a relationship with, yeah, you're going to be mad as hell they got the pussy on OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that shit gonna be crazy. And I feel like it would be vice versa. Like, I've been in a relationship with somebody for years, and I know for a fact my girl wouldn't be cool with me throwing my dick on OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? Getting bread for it. Like, and what world does that? I mean, some people are just that comfortable. Hey, some people actually be taking their significant other's photos, knowing that they have, you know, OnlyFans account, or these motherfuckers will be dating porn stars, all that type of shit. That's cool. That's who you are. Hey, get jiggy how you get jiggy. Me as an individual, I don't know how comfortable I would feel like knowing that my shorty sells nude photos of herself for a bag. Like, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? That shit is wild to me. Like, I don't know what I think.
I was about to say, so no matter the amount of bread, you not for it. But say she was doing that before she got with you, and then later on she was like, y'all.
I found out.
Stuff. How you feel?
Oh, I would be like, God, that's one of those things you got to communicate up front.
But I got multiple streams of employment. I got 7.
Listen.
Just happen to not.
But listen. But if I'm doing some shit that could get you caught up, even though I'm making money off of it, even though it's a stream of income, shouldn't you know about that? Because there's some shit that can get you caught up too.
But OnlyFans is legal. What you getting caught up in?
I mean, so even though OnlyFans is legal, there's motherfuckers that be stalking bitches on Only. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to it. But once again, I think that's so. Let's say, okay, so let's stick to what you just said. It's legal. OnlyFans is legal, right? It's a source of income. Whenever you first meet somebody, whenever you're first talking to somebody, don't you ask them what they do for a living? Isn't that like a regular conversation? Where do you work at? So if you tell me, yeah, I work 9 to 5, and you give me a job, I'm like, all right, cool. So my girl works at so-and-so. I should never find out 2 years later that you've been making money from OnlyFans on the side, because that's a stream of income. So why not tell me that whenever I first meet you? You know what I'm saying? It's a legal hustle. It's a legal stream of income. Why wouldn't you communicate that to me whenever I first meet you?
That's true. I mean, I can't really say, like, I don't know. Like, I don't be, where I stand right now, I don't care. Like, if my man was on OnlyFans, I don't know if I really care.
You
like,
say that
I
now.
just don't know.
You say that now, like.
But
you say that
I will
now.
say this.
Yeah.
If my man was a stripper or an exotic dancer,
yeah,
I might care a little bit, because I went to a strip club in New Orleans, and the men that was in there, they was doing what I think they call it, like happy endings or something like that.
So I don't know what they call it, but you understand that they getting freaky with somebody else. Listen.
They were doing a little more than stripping and exotic dancing in that.
Come on now. Your partner is getting paid to do freaky shit to other people. What?
So you can't deal with your significant other being a stripper or an exotic dancer. Stripping and exotic dancing is two different things.
They are different things. So an exotic dancer isn't necessarily like, motherfucker ain't in the private room. You know what I'm saying? No, there's no way.
Exotic dancers don't exactly take off their clothes.
Exactly. They just like they belly dancers, or you know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't be cool with like my girl being like a stripper. I'm sorry, because I know for a fact, I highly doubt that my girl, most women some women might be cool with their nigga being a stripper. To each his own. For me, once again, as an individual, I'm not gonna be. Listen, think about it this way. I'm at the crib. It's 9 o'clock on Friday, Saturday night. My girl is at a fucking club shaking her ass on niggas for money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in the crib on a game or watching Netflix. Like, and I know that this is what my girl's doing. How is that shit not gonna eat you? Remember how I said pride is a thing? Like, and I'm not afraid to say I'm that fucking prideful. Like, yo, that's my woman, nigga. You throwing money, you throwing fucking dollar bills at my woman on Friday and Saturday nights. Fuck no, I'm sorry.
Okay, say this right. She making $100,000 a night. She making $100 stripping. She making $50K with her OnlyFans monthly.
Right.
And you tell her you're not for it. So are you gonna pay for her bills? So that's $150,000 income.
No, the reason why. So once again, go ahead. Get your money. I don't blame you. Do what I don't have a problem with how you get it. How you get it is how you get it. But once again, I'm not going to be in a relationship with somebody who's doing that. Right? That's cool. That's great. I'm glad that you're making your money. I go to strip clubs. Hey, I'm about to pay your tuition. As much of it as I can. You know what I'm saying? I'm not take the fuck up. I'm here to support Black. Yo, me and my girl going to the strip club before. Real shit. I'm here to support. To me, I see strippers as entrepreneurs. You got something that you know motherfuckers like. Why not use it?
This is hilarious. You see strippers as entrepreneurs, but you just can't see your girl being a stripper entrepreneur.
Nah, because once again, my girl got a business. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of women that.
Hypothetically. You
said what?
We talking hypothetically. We're not talking about what she really do.
No, I'm saying to you, no, like
y'all already in love. You gonna dead a love because she's stripping. She got OnlyFans.
Yep.
That's crazy. What if your girl right now was like, Brandon, baby, I want to go and be a stripper and do OnlyFans. I'm in love with myself, and I just want to be a little more sexually liberated.
And that's great. Do that without me by your side. You can do that. You don't have to be here.
Basically, you gonna end it because she wants a career change?
Nah, that's a drastic ass career change. That's like, babe, I want to stop working my 9 to 5 so I can sell dope every single day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a drastic change in career. That's not saying like I want to work for a new company or I want to start my own company or I want to go from selling this to owning property. You're saying I want to hop up on stage, shake my ass, show my titties for niggas and bitches who's coming to the club to throw ones at me. That's a completely you're in a different space. I've been at a strip club before. I've seen niggas try to like, I'll never forget this. As a matter of fact, me and my girl was at a strip club when this shit happened. There was a nigga who was so drunk, he tried to climb up on the stage and like pull the stripper off the stage. That's another thing too. Like, it's not even, strippers be getting paid a lot of money, but strippers also, you seen Players Club before? Have you not seen Players Club?
It's not funny, but that's everybody reference to like stripping. Like, you seen Players Club?
Yo, hey, and it might not all for all strippers, it might not be like that, but like, yo, I've seen a grown man hop up, and he looked like crazy as fuck. Nigga, I don't know if he was off a pill. I don't know what bro was off of, but he hopped up on the stage like, I'm about to get her. Security, like, you know what I'm saying? And then toss this nigga out the fucking club. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing too. It's not always a safe environment. You know what I'm saying? So that's another aspect too. Why would I want my girl to be working in that type of environment? These niggas don't, a lot of these niggas probably don't respect you for it. They drunk, they just want to see some pussy and they want to throw some money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's another aspect too. Like, I just wouldn't want to think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my girls at the strip club, motherfuckers is, yeah, it's just, I don't know. That's just, I just wouldn't feel comfortable. I have no problem with women who are in that field. That's just dope. Like I said, I go to strip clubs. I'll throw half of my check to support you tonight. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You got bills too. I get it. But it just can't be.
The most I done threw in the strip club was $15, but to all my strippers, to all my exotic dancers, when I get some real bread, I'm gonna come see y'all. And I've only found $15, all right?
Yeah, I've definitely gone broke at a strip club before. I'm not gonna hold you.
Okay, with that though, all right, let's talk about, since you're talking about stripping, and since we talk about stripping and OnlyFans, how do you feel about WAP? How you feel about wet ass pussy then?
I thought it was dope. There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in that. Yo, the sample was crazy. I think some niggas just be like, when it comes to female rappers, I think some niggas be like threatened. Megan's hard. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Megan got bars. Her samples be crazy. Like, her voice, she just is tough. Like, as an artist, I fuck with Megan. And she's talking about things from her perspective. So I don't understand why it's such a crazy thing for niggas to accept women talking about themselves in a sexual manner. As if niggas don't be making songs and music about women in a sexual manner. Like, she's not everything that she said, I'm trying to get some WAP. You know what I'm saying? I hear the song, I'm like, oh, she probably got that top down for her. That shit probably crazy for her. I like this song. I didn't like Kylie Jenner being in the music video. I thought that was like a little corny to me, but to each his own. They probably friends, but I fuck with Cardi. I fuck with Megan. I fuck with all the young rappers, the young female rappers. Not even just the young female, Missy Elliott, like some of the OG female rappers. I got a lot of respect for them because they're hard. They're hard. And I do also think that because of the double standard that's in the industry, like, people be like, well, why is Megan only talking about sex? But you have niggas like Trey Songz that only talk about sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, so why is it an issue for her to make that?
Not Trey, not Trigger.
But I mean, it's the same thing though.
No, I agree. I think that one, Megan don't just talk about sex. That's how I know that like people don't really know her catalog.
Listen, right.
But I was wondering about it because so many people have gotten on women talking about, why are y'all talking about your vagina? Oh my gosh, ladies, I don't want artists to hear this. I don't want this to influence on my kids. And the whole time, I forgot who I was talking to, but I was having a conversation. Yeah. Like, we honestly, as women, there's so much stuff we do not know about our vaginas going into womanhood because it's so taboo to talk about your vagina. And that's the issue. Like, vagina is so delicate. It's so many different things, and you're not even taught so many like like of course, like you know, your mom
Right.
probably talk to you about it, but some people mamas don't even talk to them about the vagina, how you need to take care of it. And it's like, dang, like people don't even know
Right.
how your vagina should function and be cared for. So I think that's like
Right.
one
Right.
of the things where people need to go ahead and just shut up. We need to stop. It's like if y'all gonna have sex, we need to stop acting like it's so taboo. Like y'all want to have sex,
man.
I don't want to talk about it.
Exactly. It don't add up. And I think the thing about it is, and I had this conversation with my girl the other day and a couple other people. I think the niggas who didn't like the song were like niggas that have been getting over on women for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they have a daughter or they have a niece, and their daughter and her niece or their mom, I don't know, whoever, but women around them love this song. And now they're talking about basically doing things that they want to do. That's what I mean, that's the way that I worded it. Before it was like niggas saying like what they wanted women to do for them in their music, right? And now artists like Megan and Cardi or I'm trying to think who else. Essentially, they're artists saying what they want to do for themselves. And I think niggas have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they shouldn't, because from my understanding, if you know what you want and what you need within your body, that makes for better sex. So I don't see why there has to be an issue.
I don't know why niggas is complaining about wet ass pussy. That shit is crazy to me. Why would you complain about that? That's what I'm saying. Some niggas is strange. Some niggas' mentalities be different. So you really made a song about wet ass pussy and you don't like it? You know, like you're complaining about it. You're upset. This shit is wild. And be like, yeah, well, I don't want my kids to listen to this. Yo, somebody said, I can't believe my generation is acting so soft. Remember the Yin Yang Twins? Remember the song? Whispering, yeah. What? Motherfucker.
Don't forget when Free came back and she did the freestyle on it, and we was like, Miss 106 and Pop, the house? Oh my goodness.
Come on now. Now all of a sudden we're worried about the music that our kids are gonna be listening to. We came up on BT Uncut. Nelly was swiping credit cards and debit cards between shorty's asses. You know what I'm saying? Like now all of a sudden niggas is like, oh my God, the music, cover your child's ears. Nigga, what? Get the fuck out of here, man. Niggas is just bitching. That's how I think. Niggas is just bitching.
I think so too. I think people are tripping. And it's like, I get it. Music does influence stuff, but I don't think.
No.
Look at it like this. I heard a lot of songs as a kid. That does not mean I went out and did the stuff that they.
Come on now.
Like, you know
right.
What I mean?
Come on now. And then also too, if you're a parent, if I have a kid, it's my job as a parent to basically make sure that my child is exposed to the correct things. Now, there's two things. There's two sides to that. Number one, you can only for so long anyway. At some point, you know, you're going to become older. You're going to become a teenager. As a teenager, you're going to go out into the world by yourself without parental supervision. You're going to be exposed to a lot of things. It's important for you as a parent to make sure that you tell your kids, hey, you don't have to do everything or anything that you hear or see somebody else doing. So to me, if a song can influence your child, just one song about wet ass pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like one song about wet ass pussy. If that's going to make your daughter or your niece want to go off and do some wild shit, then you're failing as an uncle. You're failing as a father. Like that's your responsibility. On some real shit though. You're gonna blame a celebrity for your lack of strong parental skills. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not gonna say that you're failing as a parent, because I look at it like this. You can teach your kid right from wrong. You can tell your kid what to do. And and if you raise your child to be an individual, they're still gonna do what they want to do.
That's a fact.
Like, that's a fact. When people be like, oh, it's the parent fault. I mean, if the parent didn't have these conversations and they'd have told you right from wrong, no, I don't think it's the parent fault, because it's only so much you can do. I can snatch you up, I can reprimand you, but you're going to do what you want to do.
So there's that. You're right. You're absolutely right. And then after that, I've already said and done everything that I can do for you as a parent. You're at a point where you want to go out and experience the world for yourself. At that point, once again, it's not Megan or Cardi's fault because they made a song.
Oh, you know definitely not.
That's what I'm saying. At that point, so let's say that it is a good parent and this parent has done everything that they need to do as a parent, but the child still wants to go out, or teenager or whatever, they still want to go out and do whatever it is that they want to do. That's still not Megan and Cardi's fault for making music about them expressing themselves. You see what I'm saying? And so even at that point, once again, it's not the artist's job to make sure that the world, I mean, to an extent, it's a double-edged sword. But once again, I just feel like they as individuals, they are expressing themselves. And so because they're expressing themselves in their music, why should they be put on the chopping block? As if there isn't other music that's way worse. There's songs where niggas talking about killing, I'm gonna kill your mom, I'm gonna kill your sister, I'm gonna kill your brother. Like, but that song isn't worse than Cardi and Megan talking about their bodies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, where's the accountability at? I think if we're gonna hold people accountable for their lyrics or their content, then we need to hold everybody accountable. It can't just be Megan and Cardi because one song. You know what I'm saying?
I just wish we didn't look at sex as being so taboo. I think if we were to just openly discuss it, we would have healthier things around sex. Like, I think a lot of the issues that we have regarding sex is because people don't talk about it. You know, if it's not talked about in the house, it's not really talked about in school. Then, because I mean, for me, I went to Catholic school, so they would sugar, you know, taught you like family life, a family structure. Okay, that's cool. And then, you know, we was the kids. We was asking all the extra questions.
Yeah.
When you in the Catholic school system, they don't really want to tell you what's real. Like, oh, you need to tell what's real, because I was going to school, people was already having sex. Like, we in grade school having sex. Like, you can't tell people what's right, what's wrong, how to do yourself appropriately. So you don't be walking around and everybody in school pregnant. Like,
facts. Yeah, I agree. I think my fault. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. I think we just have to embrace it and talk about it. And when it comes down to, I feel like it's two type of people in this world. I feel like it's people that got to learn the hard way and people who don't got to learn the hard way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, learning the hard way is a bitch. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's definitely a greater. When you learn things the hard way, it gives you a better understanding of how to move. You know what I'm saying? How to think, how to move. But then it does help to have somebody to tell you, like, hey, you know, you're about to bump your head. I suggest you go the opposite direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so you're right. I do think that overall we need to be more honest and more vocal about sex, about that topic. You know what I mean? I don't know a specific age in which, you know, motherfuckers need to sit down and have that conversation, but it is important.
Honestly, I know people are gonna say whatever, because people think that, oh, as soon as you start talking about sex with your kids, they're gonna go out and do it. No, but I do think you gotta have it early, because at the end of the day, as a woman, it's girls who are going through their menstrual cycle as early as 3rd grade.
Right.
So you need to start having conversations. You going through your menstrual cycle doesn't automatically mean, oh, now I want to go have sex, but your body is doing stuff that you may not understand. So I think that menstrual cycle is part of everything going on in regards to sexual and babies and all this other stuff. So I think as the conversation need to be had. Personally, I don't feel like there's too early to have a conversation. Of course, you want your child to be able to like comprehend, but I think there's levels in how you explain. I don't think you have to sugarcoat it, but I think your delivery and how you explain it is going to be different than when you talk to them again when they're a teenager and stuff like that. Because instead of saying vagina, you might just go ahead and say pussy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they're older than what you will when they're a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think it. But then again, I ain't got no kids, but this is how I feel. And maybe when I have kids, I might feel different and say, nah, I ain't telling my. But I just know from perspective, being in school and knowing that people was out here having sex, or they was thinking they was having sex, or they was calling it sex, you know what I'm saying? Or they was lying that they was having sex, but they was doing that stuff what I would consider to be young.
Right.
So I'd rather have a conversation with my kid and be open, so at least I know that one, my kid feels like they can come to me. Two, that I can try to prevent certain bad things, negative experiences around sex. Because I think that people have so many negative experiences around sex that they don't know how to, you know, they don't end up knowing how to talk about it, or they don't end up seeking the proper help for getting through those negative experiences.
Totally agree. I totally agree. It's all about education. You know what I mean? And it's all about authentic, real education. Like, I mean, it's important for me to know how to do multiplication and division and read and write, but also too, like, I feel like we fail as a society. That's why a lot of relationships fail. That's why a lot of friendships fail, because there's no real education on like just how to be sociable. You know what I'm saying? Or important things that we need to know as people, as adults. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't go to college, like there's a lot of things. Not even if you do go to college, I still feel like there's a lot of things that we don't teach people about in regards to just how to be a functioning person in society. Man, shit's real. So just to wrap it all up, yeah, I definitely think that people just, I don't know, the whole WAP thing. I think it's just being taken out of context. Not even so much just being taken out of context. It's just revealing a lot of people's insecurities. That's what I really and truly think. I think it's just revealing a lot of people's insecurities, because it's like, it's just a song, yeah. And there's way worse songs out there. So why are you all taking it to this extreme? Why are you all blowing it up to this extent? You know?
So what I always want to ask people when they come on Ain't No Filter, what is some piece of advice that you would give to a person? It could be about anything. It could be about the topics we discussed. What is some advice that you would give to the people in the world?
Stay true to yourself. Definitely stay true to yourself. Learn more about yourself. Figure out who you are, what you like, what you don't like. But in that process, just stay true to yourself. You know what I mean? I think with social media, we live in a time where everybody has an opinion, everybody has a perspective, which is cool. You know what I mean? It's definitely okay to take positive criticism or constructive criticism from the right sources. And when I say the right sources, people who are in the positions that you want to be in life, or people who are actually happy. You know what I mean? You got to pick and choose who you want to take advice from. But overall, I think it's just important to be yourself. Understand that life is like a journey. It's a process. Not everything's going to happen overnight. Whereas some people expect things to just come quickly. It takes time for a lot of things to happen. You know what I mean? Whether that be mentally, physically, or spiritually. You know what I mean? And just grow and learn as much about everything that you can. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Open your mind, see things from another perspective. I think that's the greatest advice that I could give. You know what I mean? Be exposed to new things. I think a lot of people's.
No, I was saying, yeah.
Yeah, that's all I really could say.
Yeah, I would say my advice would definitely be, it's okay to be alone. And when I say alone, I just mean alone in general. I mean, like, it's okay to be by yourself and to learn yourself. Give yourself time to be by yourself. Sometimes you have to work on things by yourself, whether it's career, whether it's actually like interpersonal feelings. Like, sometimes you need to learn how to be alone, whether it's with your career, whether it's in friendships, whatever. That doesn't mean like cut everybody off, but spend needed time with yourself and like figure out who you want to be. That's my advice.
That's real though. That's some real ass advice. Sure.
Well, that was another episode of Ain't No Filter. Shout outs to Brandon for coming through. And thank y'all for tuning in. And that's period.